iPhone 15 unboxing and first impressions. Welcome to my initial look at the regular iPhone 15. We covered the Max, we covered the Pro, and I'll be covering the 15 Plus later, but we're going to go with this base model right here. You can see it includes a USB-C charging cable, no headphones. Those are sold separately, similar to the other models, although you can feel out the iPhone a little bit. It's not quite as thick as the one you could feel on the Pro box. You'll see right there, the Apple logos on the box are actually the same color as the phone. So if you just kind of look there, you kind of get an idea of the color of the phone. Let's go ahead and do a pull tab here, and then we'll do another pull tab right there. And just like every other iPhone box, when I go ahead and open this up, you're going to reveal yourself the iPhone. Now you'll see here that they did go with a newer matte textured back. Now that is definitely different from the glossy glass backs of the past. It's a very welcome change if you ask me. And then you'll see right here, we do have these nice aluminum edges right here. This phone feels incredibly light, maybe even lighter than the iPhone 14 or 15 Pro. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing boot up here and we'll look at what's in the box. So this should have some charge. USB 2 cable. So just a simple USB 2. That's kind of disappointing that they didn't give you 3, but they're always separating the base models from the Pro models in some ways. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't going to be transferring a lot of stuff, needing those extra speeds on the base model. So maybe it's not a big deal after all. Apple stickers right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing signed in. There's no action button on here. You'll see a silent switch right there, volume rockers on the left, USB-C at the bottom, power button on the right, 5G antenna right there. You'll see we do have the same color as the phone basically up in there. Very nice. I'm glad I went with green. It's a pretty decent color. Although the back is kind of light though. You know, it is kind of like they all have this, like the lighter colors all have like this whitish color to the back of them. Okay, so we are now in the iPhone 15, and just like the other iPhone unboxings I did, this phone comes with the iOS 17 wallpaper right out of the gate. Now, let me go ahead and bring this a little brighter, but we'll go over here to settings and we'll scroll down the wallpapers, and we're going to check out the wallpapers that are included here. You'll see basically all the same as the other iPhones, but down in collections, you are going to find yourself a collection of iPhone 15 specific wallpapers. They're going to be right here once it loads up. And you'll see we do have like this big, what is that, a pebble? Or is that a lava lamp? I don't know what that exactly is, but you could see blue. We have the black for the black iPhone, and I've seen the black one in person. That one looks fire. It looks like a true matte black iPhone. So I'm probably going to get the Plus in the matte black, but you'll see pink, yellow, green, blue, and black. Now let me know, do you guys like the iPhone 15 Pro wallpapers more, or do you like the ones that were included with the base 15? Let me know down below in the comments, and let's actually set that wallpaper here as we continue to talk, because I don't really like them when they put the iOS 17 wallpapers on there. So new here again is going to be Dynamic Island. And the thing about this phone is pretty insane is that if you bought a 14, I think you might have snoozed, because the 14, this is more like the 14 Pro now. You have Dynamic Island on such a light, nice design, and you do have yourself the A16 Bionic chipset in here. So this thing should fly just like the iPhone 14 Pros of last year without the weight penalty. In addition, in camera, there's something new here with this phone. Let's go to continue. They have a 2x. Now, I'm not sure that's a telephoto, but they have a 2x option right there, and then you could go 10 times zoom. So you can go twice as much zoom as you could before. That makes this a very solid option for most people. Most people aren't going to probably want or even need, you know, a ton of zoom. I always talk about how much I want zoom because I'm into photography and zooming. But the general public, I think, is not going to care too much, and they're probably going to like the fact that I can do a little bit more zoom than before. I already like this myself. I like that I can go 10 times. Like, I always thought it was weird that the iPhones could only go 5x zoom. It was just really not cool to me. So I'm happy with that right there. And in video, this also gives you action mode, things like 4K 60p video recording. On the front, you're going to have yourself a nice, beautiful front-facing camera that matches up very good with the rear. I think we might have ourselves a phone that has, a big popularity close to that of what we've seen with the iPhone 11 with this 15. Now, when it comes to the battery life, the first impressions are I can't really tell you, but I can tell you my first thoughts. Having a bigger battery with a better chip, I do think this might have better battery life than the iPhone 14. This has a 3349 milliamp hour battery in here, and then the iPhone 14 has itself a 3279. I gotta tell you though, I'm loving on first impressions, the matte textured back and just the light feel. This thing only clocks in at around 171 grams. And one of my favorite phones this year has been the Galaxy S23. And that's because this phone clocks in at 168 grams. So this one's still a little bit lighter, but I don't know what it is about the iPhone 15. It feels like equally light, even though it's only about 3 grams difference. But just the size and the weight of this, I loved. And I think, a lot of people are going to love the size and the weight of this. This thing is going to be so practical to hold and to use. You're going to love this thing when it comes to the weight. Trust me on that. I don't have much more else to say about this phone. We'll do some more close-up shots so you can get an idea of what the phone actually looks like. I want to give you that just in case you're not able to get to the store right now. You can see there's the camera lens. You can see it's a very thin phone. And the colors on the edges are definitely quite light. There's your USB-C, and you'll see the Torx screws. They have a little bit less holes than the Max versions or the Plus versions for speaker and microphone. You can see antenna line. And then we have ourselves the volume rockers right there, and this retains the classic silent switch. Now, I'm pretty sure the 16s are probably going to get action button next year. And you'll see right there, the Apple logo, kind of hard to see, but there it is. The matte textured back. Just a light premium device. Really do like it. And that's basically what you can expect. Now, one thing you'll also notice is that the iPhone 15 doesn't have the thinner reduced bezels that you're going to find on the iPhone 15 Pro. So you'll see just slightly different bezels. They come closer to the edge on the 15 Pro, not so much on the 15. But I don't think that's going to matter to like 99% of people. It's still a beautiful product here. All right, so let's go ahead and compare this to some other iPhones. We'll go back, way back to the iPhone XR. Major upgrade. If you kept this thing forever, you're ready for an upgrade. This is a massive upgrade. This iPhone XR just feels downright clunky and heavy at this point by comparison to the iPhone 15. Look at how much different that looks. It's also wider than the 15. It's just a much improved ergonomic phone. So, and obviously you got a lot of upgrades in speed and battery and all that stuff. But just the way this phone feels, I would upgrade the XR easily. Let's go on to the iPhone 11. Similar to the iPhone XR, a clunky big 6.1 inch screen, although a durable beast with that thick aluminum. I love the iPhone 11. It was an amazing device at the time. But it's fun. It's starting to get to the point where you probably want to consider an upgrade. Camera's much bigger on the iPhone 15. The rounded edge is still comfortable on the 11, don't get me wrong. It feels nice in the hand. But the 15 also feels very nice and light in the hand. So I would do the upgrade here based on ergonomics alone as well. Also, you're getting big camera upgrades with the zoom. You can zoom further on this phone and dynamic island. It'll feel like a totally big jump in a phone if you have the iPhone 11. Now let's take it on to the iPhone 12. The iPhone 12, this is a refinement over the iPhone 12. Not massive, not a massive change, but a polished upgrade. This one, I would say you don't have to do it. If you want to wait till the 16, you're getting a similar phone here, but definitely you're getting a phone that is much faster, much better battery life. Although the iPhone 12 was quite light as well, this one feels, somehow this just feels lighter in the hand. Nicer back. The iPhone 12 got much glossier and big camera improvements. So it's definitely a recommended upgrade, but it's not a must. I think the iPhone 12 with 5G, you can definitely make it to the 16 if you want to get a even bigger upgrade. Now, I don't got the 13 with me, but I got the 14, which is basically the same phone. So we'll just kind of talk about those the same, 13, 14. If you got the 14 last year, you don't get USB-C. You don't get the A16. You have the older notch. Probably wasn't a good idea to buy the iPhone 15 after all, or 14 after all, at this point. And it wasn't the most popular iPhone, but yeah, this is something. If you can get a lot of money back on your iPhone 14, you can go pick one up. But if you have an iPhone 13, I don't think the 13 or the 14 is a must upgrade either. But if you want dynamic island, you want a more polished, light design. It's definitely a felt design. There's stuff you can feel, like the matte back, the lightweight, the USB-C. There are things that you can tell this is a different phone. More so than I felt like from the iPhone 12 to the 13 to the 14. Those phones all felt basically exactly the same. But dynamic island, USB-C, lighter design, longer zoom, and go 10 times zoom, matte edges. There's more things I can feel with this phone already, upgrading from any of those devices. And lastly, let's give it a comparison to its brothers and sisters, the iPhone 15 Pro. And you'll see right here, pretty much the same design and build, but the iPhone 15 Pro feeling a little bit more premium with the titanium. It's actually quite close though. It's, the titanium models kind of feel like aluminum now. In the hand, they're a little colder to the touch, but they just feel kind of similar to the regular 15. But you can see camera lens is much bigger. The comfort factor is still better on the 15 than the iPhone 15 Pro, but the 15 Pro is much lighter than it used to be. Both excellent options, but the 15 is a better deal when it comes to the price point for sure. And lastly, we'll compare this thing next to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, a massive leap. And again, I'll get the 15 Plus soon, so we can compare those two as well. So stay tuned for that. But this is about what the 15 Plus size would be. And you're going to find yourself just having a really, really much more lighter compact design if you stick with regular iPhone 15 over one of the bigger phones. And of course, the top Android competitor we talked about earlier, the Galaxy S23. This is going to be the top phone you would choose if you wanted to try Android, but you like the iPhone 15, but you just want to try an Android phone. This would be its top competitor. Anyway, that's it for me. iPhone 15 unboxing, first impressions. I'm impressed. I think it's a pretty nice polished phone. I'm not like overly stoked about it, but I just think that if you're looking for a nice polished upgrade, there's a lot of things to be excited about if you have a much older iPhone. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see going forward on the 15. I'll consider creating that as well. And stay tuned for some comparisons, speed tests, and videos on this one as well. And let me know if you want to see the Plus. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.